Brewskis. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on 18th century enslaved women's head wraps. So to start with, I am going to have my hair in a wig cap. I always suggest anyone who wears head wraps, especially cotton or linen or wool, they just go ahead and buy a head wrap. Go ahead and buy a wig cap. It's really cheap. You can buy like 4 for $1, 2 for $1. It's not expensive. So go ahead, save split ends because I actually got a bit of damage from wearing head wraps every single day. And I've been completely fine since I switched over to using a wig cap. Now I'm going to do two styles today. I'm going to be doing a simple 18th century style that you can find throughout the throughout the colonies. So here in the 13 colonies or down through the Caribbean. And then there's going to be two variations of one of those head wraps. And then I'm going to be doing a Bayesian style from Barbados. So I'm liking to go on a ride with you guys down to the Caribbean. I really want to start this by saying, please be respectful of these styles. I know that I am putting my research out into the world, so I have to trust that people who are going to receive it aren't going to be attempting to appropriate cultural styles. And yes, I understand women around the world do wear head wraps, but you understand that African American women have taken on the head wrap to be a cultural style. So please just take that into account and just really be respectful for how you're going to be using these head wraps. Another thing I really want you guys to understand, that this is really one of the only ways in which these women could express themselves. So I may show you the simple way in which to tie these head wraps, but you can put your own spin onto it. Please expect 2 more head wrap tutorials to come out. I'm going to do another 18th century, another 18th century and 2 19th century enslaved women's head wraps. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started here. I am starting with the one that I was issued by our costume department here at Colonial Williamsburg. And it is about 2 yards in length and about ½ a yard in width. Well, yeah. And one thing that you may notice is that in most your sites, they may put barcodes in the head wraps in your clothing. We do that. So that was the bane of my existence when I first started. So when I start the head wrap, the barcode is on this side. What I do is just flip it over in the front, because it showed the entire first few weeks I was here. It really annoyed me. So now I don't ever see it or have any problems. First thing you want to do is to put it on your forehead. Make sure you get it directly in the middle. That's one thing the barcode is for. You can find the middle exactly. And then you want to go to the back and cross them over. And you bring the tails, we'll call these the tails. You'll bring the tails to the front. And then you want to start to twist it. Just twist the front. I do something really weird. Once I've twisted one side, I put it underneath my arm so it stays twisted. I know it's very weird. So we are having some technical difficulties. My camera just fell out on us, so I had to plug it in. But here I'm going to continue with the twist. and go over to the side and continue with the twist. So once you have these twisted in the especially chainy style by tucking it under your armpit, bring it to the top, tie it at the top here, and go ahead and twist the tails. So we call these pieces here. Twisting the tails. Once these are twisted, take it to the back and go ahead and tuck. And then you go ahead and twist this side and go ahead to the back and tuck there as well. And then you want to, if you need to make adjustments to your head wrap, go ahead and do that. Stuff needs to be retucked. Usually I spend about 30 seconds, 20 seconds every morning just adjusting my head wrap. Again, these styles are not mandatory, so you can make little variations however you want. Some people actually twist this side around the this portion, I don't know what to call it, the upper part of the tail, and some people do that, but this is a very simple 18th century style. Now I'm going to do the variation to this head wrap. So you want to undo everything to this point, and then you just bring it up again without twisting, tie it on the top here, and then you can just bring it back and tuck it in the back. Or what I like to do is sometimes these come loose when you just pull it back, so I just like to fold it in and then tuck. Some more tucking is needed. Same to this side, which tends to come out more because it's shorter. And then you just go ahead and tuck. Now there are definitely some variations to this. I personally do something a bit different. You may have seen me wearing this hairstyle at events, or not this hairstyle, this head wrap at events or at work. But what I do is, instead of going to the sides, I go ahead and tie it one more time to give it a bit of volume. This is just the little chainy twist that I do. I call this the chainy twist. And then I go ahead and tuck that little tail in the back. And you can either bring this around and add it to the top here and give it some more volume, or I just do this situation again, and then I just go ahead and tuck it. Now you may have definitely seen me wearing this head wrap. This is something that I wear a lot. So this is one of my favorites. And you really should experiment and come up with your own. Again, this is something that these women did for self-expression, as well as identifying with one another and differentiating themselves from one another. Now we're gonna go onward to the Bayesian style, to Barbados. I want to preface this by saying that I'm using a neckerchief from Burnley and Trowbridge, and I'll link that down below. But this is not an approved neckerchief for our costume department here at CW, so I would not get this one. Or I definitely use this for off work fashion with wrapping my hair, but for on work, pick something else. But this is the exact same size as all the rest, so that's why I'm using this. I cannot find my white or blue one, so we're just going to go ahead and go with this. The size is perfect. It's folded in half, and it's just so perfect for this style. So just go ahead and put on your head. Find the middle. Again, the way I usually find the middle is I just bring the tails up, and if they match up, then you're in the middle. Okay, now this is a unique one. First thing you do is, you see this little point here? You want to put it on the top of your head here. And then you just want to tie the two tails in the back, bring them forward over your shoulders, and throw this tail piece in the back down. You then simply adjust the head wrap to your liking. I don't so much like it all the way down on my forehead. And then you want to bring the tails up, tie them into a bow. This is definitely too long, the tail here. And tie them into a bow on the top of your head here. You can tuck the tails, or you could just go ahead and tuck the bow completely. I've seen that as well. Or if your tails are small, so about this small, you can just let them be. But if it's as long as this, I would just go ahead and tie it, or instead of tying it, you can go ahead and tuck, which is not a problem. Just go ahead and tuck the tails. But I really like the cute little bow on top. And don't go crazy with tightening the bow. Remember, this is your head. Please do not cut off the circulation to your brain. I have made that mistake, and I have actually gotten headaches. So make it snug, but not too snug, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the Bayesian style. And even though this style, my documentation comes from Barbados, please understand that the transatlantic slave trade also brought enslaved persons from the Caribbean into the colonies, the 13 colonies. So these hairstyles, or I'm sorry, these head wraps are making it to Virginia, and it would be absolutely ridiculous to disregard research from the Caribbean, because enslaved persons are definitely making it to the colonies in quite a few great numbers. So you'll be able to see some similarities between head wraps. Also, I want to thank everyone for your head wrap suggestions. How I came up with this was people were sending me pictures, and they were just like, I wish you would do this picture. So thank you. I'll also link my primary source documentation down below as usual. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yes, I will be doing 3 more head wrap tutorials, another one for 18th century and 2 for 19th century, and I'll be doing a 4th one where I show you how to pick out head wraps, how to look at documentation to see what they're actually doing. Thank you so much for watching. Please like us and subscribe.